It's time for another installment of Flashpoint. This week I sat down with Altamonte Springs City Manager Frank Martz to talk about the city's upcoming launch of their ultimate Uber project. On March 21st, Altamonte Springs will become the first city in the United States to become fully integrated with Uber, a move one partnership hopes will reduce traffic and congestion and increase Sunrail ridership. Joining me today, Frank Martz, Altamonte Springs City Manager. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on Flashpoint. Let's get right into it. First off, what is the motive behind this pilot project?
Well, we recognized a long time ago that transit was part of Central Florida's future, and we've been pushing transit forward for many years. We founded the Commuter Rail Authority, housed in our city hall, and our city frankly got tired of waiting for others to find some solutions. So as technology emerged, as opportunities became much more clear, we decided to act, and our motive was really lead or get out of the way, and we decided to lead.
Good stuff. Congressman John Mica has stressed that if you're going to use public transportation, it has to be convenient, affordable, and accessible. How does this project reflect those qualities?
Well, Uber is very convenient. It puts transportation choices in the palm of your hand, and Congressman Mica, who is principally responsible for all of the transportation initiatives in Central Florida, really makes a good point. No one is going to change their behavior if it's not convenient. So the beauty of Uber and Lyft and transportation technologies in general is that you can order a pizza from your phone, you can order clothes from your phone, you should be able to order a trip from your phone. And Congressman Mica's point is very well taken. There's been a reliance on buses to feed Sunrail, and that has failed. So it's time to look for other alternatives.
Good stuff. And there is even a greater discount for trips starting or ending at the Altamonte Springs Sunrail station, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to encourage behaviors to change. We're not going to focus on infrastructure. We're going to focus on riders and their choices. So we want to incentivize this, see what we can do to start helping Sunrail ridership. Sunrail ridership is flat. The overruns are, into the $35 to $50 million range, and at some point the local governments are going to have to pay for that. So we're going to try to do everything we can to encourage people to learn how to use transit. How
important is it, though, for parents of kids that may be going out to use Uber and not drink and drive? I know that is something that a lot of folks, they love Uber. Sure. So this just makes it that much more accessible and affordable for folks that live in Altamonte Springs.
It does. The beauty of Uber is that you become the person who controls your choice. You don't have to wait for a bus. It is literally in the palm of your hands. You just have to be responsible enough to use it. So Safe Drive Home is really a focus at the University of Florida. They've done a partnership like that. First and last mile access to transit is something that's happening in Pinellas County, in Hillsborough County. What's important to us is to really implement that entire thinking citywide, and that's why our partnership is the first in the country to really take a stab at this.
Good stuff. All right, well, when we come back, we will have more with Altamonte Springs City Manager Frank Martz about the city's upcoming Uber project. Stay with us. Welcome back. Today on Flashpoint, we're talking with Altamonte Springs City Manager Frank Martz on the city's ultimate Uber project. Earlier we were talking about how this partnership is being called the first of its kind. In 2015, Altamonte Springs had a partnership with Lynx FlexBus, which was labeled as the, quote, Uber for public transit. But that project did not take off. How will this Uber program differ from that?
Well, when the city created FlexBus in 1999, it really was the first demand response transportation concept that was pushed out into the public. And the challenge for us as a city that runs very much like a business is that it's hard for us to work with other public agencies. We want to move quickly. We want to make decisions. Unfortunately, Lynx did not bring FlexBus forward. The beauty of Uber and our partnership with them is that we truly do understand demand response transportation. So the private sector brought this model to the market, and we seized on it. And because we did not have to work with public agency, it allowed us to execute a plan in a pretty efficient way, and it's going to be much more cost effective than working with Lynx.
Now, funds that were dedicated towards the FlexBus, those are now going towards this project, right?
Yeah, we had anticipated a $1.5 million cost to work with Lynx on the FlexBus. We have budgeted only a third of that, and we think that we will be inside that budget. So this type of private sector solution can be very cost effective for the public. We also have private sector partners who are helping us fund this. Florida Hospital has always been a champion in the community. They are helping us fund it. Crescent Resources and a few others. So what it allows us to do is to really push through a public-private partnership with private sector partners.
Right. Good stuff. Now, looking ahead to what this Uber Altamonte project could potentially mean for downtown Orlando, how will it encourage UCF students from around Central Florida to then use Sunrail or use Uber to then get to a Sunrail?
Well, I think one of the valuable aspects of our partnership with Uber is it's taught other people how to do it. And UCF, we work very closely with Seminole State College, and Seminole State College has embraced this concept, and they're going to help us push this out to their students, teaching them that there is an opportunity for them to study on the train, study on the Uber car to their classroom, study on the way back, and really to start maximizing the use of their time. And Seminole State College, we think, is probably going to set an example for a lot of the other schools in the country how to do this.
Not to mention the I-4 Ultimate project, it's just a drag. Everyone knows if you drive I-4 right now, it's only going to get worse.
There is a trend in Central Florida and around the country to find ways to get people out of their cars. It gets back to Congressman Micah's point. If it's not convenient, no one's going to use it. They would rather sit in the comfort of their own car in traffic than take an inconvenient choice that's not in their control. And that's where Uber and Lyft and other technologies like that have really punctured the market and changed the way we think.
And right now there is only one Sunrail going into the city. Do you see this as a catalyst to maybe get more Sunrail trains through downtown?
Well, the worry that I think a lot of people have who support Sunrail is that if we don't find a way to get riders on it, we won't even have Sunrail.
Right.
So there's not going to be any other rail system if we can't make this one be successful. And you know, in the current way of thinking, it wasn't going to be. So we don't know if this will work, but we know that we're going to try.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Now, what's going to happen at the conclusion of this one-year partnership? What are you hoping to gain from this?
Well, I think what we hope to gain is a little bit better ridership on Sunrail. I think we're hoping to get some congestion management benefits by teaching people who are currently getting in their car and driving to the Altamonte Mall or driving to Seminole State College to do it in a different way. I think what we also hope to learn is how to craft together a package of public and private transportation alternatives and then solicit from the market many mode choices. So I think what we're going to do at the end of the year is reevaluate, see where we are, and then pitch the problem out to a lot of private sector partners and say, come up with the best solution for us.
What's the reaction been from folks who live in Altamonte Springs after you guys announced this?
Well, it's been great. The people in Altamonte Springs are used to very progressive ideas. We built the Altamonte Springs Science Incubator, the first STEM education facility in the state. We built a innovative water project on I-4. So the people in Altamonte are used to us being innovative and really being ahead of the curve a bit. Their reaction has been, thank you for doing something for us. And we hope to partner with some other cities in Seminole County soon to start connecting the idea. There's a lot of interest, and there are a lot of good leaders in Seminole County cities. So we're encouraged.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Frank Martz, City of Altamonte Springs City Manager. We appreciate it. In case you missed it, here's how Uber users can get that discount. Open the Uber app within Altamonte Springs city limits and select the promotions option from the menu. Tap Select Pickup Location, then choose promo code at the bottom of your screen. That's where you can then enter the code Altamonte in the promo code deal. Thank you so much for joining us here on Flashpoint. We'll be right back with more news and weather in just a few minutes. Stay with us.